Moon titties.
Stop that, moon titties. Now, see, now nobody understands what that means. I'm J.E. Sutton Jr.
And I'm Jeannie,
Welcome to the Co-Authored Life,
where we talk about our life and what's happening. This week, we've decided to change it up a little. So we're going to just touch on a few topics, which are...
We're going to talk about the FIFA World Cup.
Yay.
We're going to talk about Apple TV's Foundation series because we have finished the third season.
And then we'll talk about the Literary Indulgence Festival.
The book festival coming up on the 18th. We talk about that. So let's jump right in and talk about
FIFA. Wow. Football, man. Football is life. Thank you, Danny. I am into it.
You're really into it. You were really into it yesterday in the France-Belgium game, yelling at the TV.
That ball was out. That ball was out. That ball was out, and play went on for another 3 minutes, but the ball was out.
I'm not sure the ball was actually
The ball was out.
But it was close. I don't think it mattered.
Mr. Magoo could see that that ball was out.
I can't remember what the other one you yelled at in that match, but you were very animated at that match.
Yeah. There was another yellow card fest in the...
There was a lot of yellow cards late in the game.
Yeah.
As
that seems to be the trend now, is that, well, I mean, I guess...
Well, as the game ends, the one team, in this case Belgium, is really, really urgently trying to score, and they're trying to get the ball away from the team that's ahead, in this case France. So, yeah, they tend to get a little... they tend to take more risks, and with more risk comes yellow cards. And
and a lot more drama.
A lot more drama. But it was a good match. It was really, really close up until the final few minutes when France pulled ahead. It was 1-1 for most of the match. So,
and you notice that the whistle blew right at the proper time because they're like, Spain has it. Blow the whistle. We don't need to see anymore.
Yeah.
That is frustrating. I didn't really realize how frustrating it is for you, but it's now frustrating for me because I was like, surely they're going to let that more play, but no. Final whistle blown.
Yeah.
So Thursday we have Norway and England and Argentina and Switzerland. No, that's today. Today.
Saturday.
Norway's, you called them the dark horse, but Holland is just so charming and lovely. I really want them to win.
I think a lot of people would love to see them in the final.
Yeah.
But I don't really see that happening. I really, really expect that the final is going to be France and Argentina.
I'll talk to you about my predictions here in a minute.
But I would love to see Norway in it. He is an amazing player. And somebody said yesterday his social media stature is approaching Taylor Swift level. So
gotta love it.
Yeah,
he's just adorable.
Yeah. So, and
just a good human, and that's always fun. The other game today is Argentina versus Switzerland. I have no doubt that Argentina will clinch it, and whether it's a heavy Argentina or they clinch it like they did the other game.
Yeah, I think
match. Sorry.
I think Argentina is destined to be in at least the semifinals. I think England's has had a good World Cup, but I don't think they're quite there. So,
do you think Lionel Messi is at his end? How old is he? Do we know?
He's in his 30s. I think this is likely his last World Cup, and I think that's where a lot of people are hoping to see him in the final, and maybe, I mean, I think I think a lot of people would love to see Argentina repeat because it'd be Messi's last World Cup. I think France is too strong for them, but we'll see.
According to the announcers yesterday, Spain won the game when they still had 7 minutes left. I mean, granted, they did win, but still, that was so...
Well, they did seem to be calling the match at 1-1, which was kind of weird.
Yeah. Wasn't biased at all. So I really think that I want Norway to win today. And so these are my predictions. Argentina will win today, which means that
Argentina,
Thursday will be France and Spain.
right?
And I think Spain will win that.
Yep.
And then possibly Norway and Argentina. And then if things go my way, the final would be Spain and Norway, and Norway winning.
All right. Well, I'm going to stick with France beating Argentina in the final.
So you think France is going to beat Spain on Thursday?
Yeah, I think so. I think France has one of the strongest teams in the World Cup this year. I think Argentina is
hungry.
Well, I think that there's an emotional thing there with Messi and it being is most likely his final World Cup appearance. So I think that's going to be an emotional advantage for them. But I think that France is the better team. But we'll see. We have 6 more games to go?
Yeah, we have 2 today and 2 on Thursday.
2,
no,
4. Yeah, 6
5.
more games. Yeah, there's 6 more games because there's a third.
Oh place. Yeah, who gets third place?
The third place game. I was talking to a friend of mine.
I forgot about that.
Talking to a friend of mine yesterday about, not yesterday, it was Thursday, about, I can't imagine a motivation for a player like Messi to play in a third place game after losing in the semifinals. Can't imagine what the motivation would be.
Money. I mean, they still get paid for winning, right?
Yeah, I think it's probably more advantageous to younger players who are still trying to make a name for themselves, because some of the players that are on these national teams are not currently on professional rosters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so they've qualified, and some of them have shown very well.
So who does Hamlin play for? Do we know?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness!
I looked up some the other day, but they're all spread out, right? I mean, they all come back to play for a team that they are a citizen of that country. That's part of the World Cup rules. But outside of that, I mean, they're all over the place. I mean, Messi plays for an MLS team in the U.S. So
yeah,
they're all over the place. Some of the U.S. players are on teams in overseas.
Yeah,
in professional leagues overseas. So there's lots of opportunities, though, for those players who aren't on a professional team today who did well in the World Cup, maybe in a backup role, or maybe just hadn't been in professional sports before. There's some fairly young players on some of these squads as well.
Yeah, they were talking about somebody's birthday is today, and they're gonna turn 19, and I'm like, that's what I came up with the whole beer comment. Like, so these young 18, these young football players are used to going out for a pint, and they come to America and they can't, and that's a little sad, and I feel bad for them.
Something tells me that they're working through that. But anyway, but so I talked to a friend of mine who is a regular football fan.
Yeah,
he's from London, and he was very impressed with the World Cup in the United States. He said they're doing a great job, that he's been to 2 matches so far, one in Boston, one in Atlanta, and he was very impressed with how well they've done putting together. He was very impressed with the fan participation and just the overall atmosphere at the matches. So that's a good thing. So yay, U.S.
Yeah. I watched a video this morning of the fans in Miami doing the Norway row, and because
So yeah, it's got to be a little bit different for U.S. fans. I mean, there's a lot of folks from overseas who are here to see their favorite teams, but there's a lot of U.S. fans too getting maybe in some cases their first look at football at this level, and it's a different experience than American football.
Yeah,
not only just on the field, but the stands and how they do that during the game is all different too. By and large, in American football stadiums, you don't sing along with the music, which is very common in
so fun.
In this football.
I really wish we would adopt
we
more
should
of that.
do it. It's amazing.
Yeah,
there's something about there's really something about a whole town, a whole city in Germany singing "Sweet Caroline" in the middle of a football game.
Yeah. Right.
Or Country Home, West Virginia.
Well, that's the USA's
Yeah.
theme song now. Okay. I mean, I can't really think of a better song though, because you can't do Sweet Home Alabama because not all of America is Alabama. Thank you.
West Virginia.
Yeah.
But it's a great song. It does capture sort of an Americana sort of feel.
It does.
So that's good for them.
John Denver.
Yay. When growing up, I always thought he was too square to listen to, but I guess one grows into that kind of thing.
You know how I didn't know he wasn't square?
Yeah.
He was on the Muppets.
He was on the Muppets.
So once you're on the Muppets, you're cool. Just saying.
Everybody was on the Muppets, though.
Not everybody.
A lot of people.
Not everybody.
A lot of people.
Gay.
All
right. So I think we know where I stand on the FIFA, Norway.
So that's what we'll be doing later today. And tonight we'll be watching the two FIFA matches. We're in now. We'll be here till the finals. So we'll talk about this again probably.
Yeah.
When the finals are done at the end of next week.
Yeah.
So you want to move on to our next topic?
Yeah, we're going to talk about Foundations, which is on Apple TV. It's the third season. We've watched all three.
Yep.
And this season, I wasn't too sure. I was like, where are they going with this? I don't understand any of it. Okay, so they have Gail Dornick, and she is a sleeper. Okay. She's what, over 200 years old? 150 years old?
Something like that. More than that, I think.
And we have Empire.
Because she's been in suspended animation twice now.
Yeah. Well, and on that planet, they did regularly
they wake her up every year, but she did extended sleep for the first. I think she's like 300 or 400 years old.
Yeah.
Because she was in some of this is a little difficult for me to follow. I read the Asimov books both as a child and later as a young adult, and then again as a later in my adulthood. But they've taken some liberties with the story. But the third season is closer to some of the storylines in Foundation and Empire, which is the second book.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there was tons of eye candy for the women in the third season of Foundation. The actor who plays Empire Day, was pretty much half naked the entire episode.
Yeah.
Jacked, man. He's jacked.
Well, that's an example. Those are characters that don't really feature prominently in the written story. Empire is more of an idea and less of a person in the story. It's not that the Emperor isn't there, but there's no genetic dynasty.
Yeah, they say dynasty. I say dynasty.
They do both, depending on the character, which is kind of interesting. I would normally say dynasty as well.
So for those of you who don't watch it or who haven't read the books, the Empire dynasty has 3 participants: a young Empire, which they call Dawn, Day, who is the current ruler or the head ruler, and then older Empire called Dusk. Yeah.
Dusk.
And through genetic, they call it exponents. Through genetic copies.
Yeah.
Through those copies, they've seen a degradation of ability, of cognitive.
I think the idea is their cognitive abilities have declined, and we see that they seem more erratic and less competent than the earlier versions we see in seasons 1 and 2.
Well, in season 2, they start cracking.
Yeah, and so their flaws. I mean, the problem, of course, is they come from a flawed source anyway. Cleon the First, who's the first emperor in this line, is a very flawed human to begin with, and they are obviously offshoots of that, and it gets worse and worse.
So a little backstory: in the beginning of this realm, there were robotics and humans, and the humans built the robotics to help them explore the universe, help them with technology improvements, and then they decided that they were no longer needed and eradicated them, except for one, which is, or well, we think only one, which is
Demerzel.
Demerzel.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've said her name right.
Demerzel. The interesting thing about that is,
Well, I know you said in the past that in the books it's a man.
well, no, yes, yes, but beyond that, because that really is irrelevant to the story, but they sort of hint at that in this story. When Asimov wrote the original Foundation series in the 50s, starting in the 50s, the robots weren't connected to his earlier stories. He had previously
Right. We
written,
talked about that.
yeah, we'd previously written 3 novels with these robots. One's
Right.
called
The Laws of Robotics.
yeah, that where he founded the laws of
Right.
robotics and all this, but they weren't connected. He connected them up later in later books after the Foundation trilogy. They have they have kept that linkage, obviously, since they're using the whole Foundation storyline as for this series. So it's really, that part's really kind of cool. And she mentions having, Demerzel mentions having another name.
Right.
She mentions 2 names, Daniel,
Right.
which is the male robot name from the first series. And she also mentions another name. She mentions Edo or Edo. Edo is the name of the character in the books when it's a male advisor to the Emperor.
Oh,
So that that character does show up in the stories, primarily I think in the prequel books, Prelude to Foundation. And there's another one I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but there are 2 prequel books that take place prior to the start of the original Foundation novel. And
yeah.
his character, I think, has more to do in that. But is it
So a little bit of a spoiler though. Cleon the First was a selfish person and didn't want Demerzel, right? That's how we say it, Demerzel,
Demerzel? Yep.
to be. Well, he kept her captive and would go and
Right.
talk to her,
Right.
and eventually, basically enslaved her.
Yeah, he reprograms her with a overriding command that she must protect Empire. So and that fits right into, again, that's not from the books, but it fits right into the story because what Asimov wrote were these 3 laws of robotics, right? Which started with not allowing harm to come to a human, not allowing harm to come to, now I'm blanking on
Robots
themselves, but it was they were allowed to protect themselves, but not when it could harm a
harm.
human. They could protect a human when it wouldn't, robot. Anyway, the point was there's this hierarchy,
Right.
the 3 robotic laws, but then he added a 4th law which he put in front of those laws, the 0th law, which was to put humanity above individual humans.
Right.
Playing off of that,
Right.
Cleon
Empire.
the First, Empire, puts empire before humanity.
Right.
So he creates this, I don't know, maybe you call it a -1 law, I don't know. Before that, which is an overriding law, which as the third season progresses, comes into conflict with her other laws.
Right.
And at the end of the 3rd season, she has to make a choice.
But
on
she
how
really
to do
grows
that.
in season
Yes,
3.
she does. And we get much more understanding of her character and her
And her
development
struggle
and her
with
struggle. Right.
those laws, and
Right.
and her basically screaming for a way out.
Right. Because she's enslaved, but her programming prevents her from rebelling, even when um, it would free her, even when it might be for the betterment of humanity and the betterment of herself. She still can't violate that superseding programming. And again, it comes to a head at the end of the 3rd season, which is a very powerful scene, and makes the sort of the ending of the 3rd season pretty amazing. And so there is going to be a 4th season. Jeannie looked that up
Yep.
just yesterday. We were
Yep.
very excited about that. So we'll be watching that, which will take place after the scene. It most likely would deal with the latter part of the 2nd book and the 3rd and subsequent books. I'm sure it is because they haven't got to all of the sort of Earth lore that Asimov wrote in follow-up books to the original trilogy,
which is why they had that ending shot. Okay.
Yes, they had an ending shot, which sort of tells you where they're going in the 4th season, which
moon
is
titties.
Stop that. Moon titties. Now, see, now nobody understands what that means.
So in the show Resident Alien, the sheriff, who I love, I think he's hilarious, talks about he doesn't know what's on the dark side of the moon. He said there could be a KFC or a dance hall with moon titties. And so that's just kind of a joke that we.
So
anyway,
anything that's unknown could be moon titties.
Right.
So anyway, I don't know what that would be, but anyway.
So Foundation, I know that I'm not always the best person to watch TV with because I do ask a lot of questions during the show. And we talked about one of the characters, and I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but that character surprised you. Did you really think she was going to be who they...
No, because I think they changed that. The switch is real, but I think they changed it.
Okay, so you really think that she was supposed to be what you had told me on the couch instead of what really happened?
Well...
Wow.
No.
So if you want to decode this...
No, I thought that's where they were going, but clearly they were going another place. But I did know there was something wrong. Something was...
Well, obviously she was touched in some way.
She was different.
Yes.
And I knew that, but my guess was that she was something else other than what they end up portraying her.
This is another series where nobody's really dead until you see the body demolished.
Right. And even then, you don't know. They could come back as a clone or and while one of the characters comes back just magically, we don't even know how they came back.
Yeah, we don't know. Harry Seldon.
But
it's
some of the decisions they made around that, though, is so they could have a consistent cast, right? It'd be very difficult. In fact, I think the consensus was that Foundation was unfilmable because it's a very
fast.
Well, it jumps through timelines, but it's also very abstract story in that its story is not about people; it's about ideas, and that's very difficult to do on screen. So you don't usually in a drama, right? You need somebody to root for, right? You need somebody to root against. You need good guys and bad guys, and maybe somebody who's sort of in between. That's difficult to do with the Foundation trilogy because the characters never stick around for very long. Because it's like a 5,000 year story. The characters die and new characters show up.
But I found myself rooting for somebody in the first 3 episodes, and by episode 4, I'm like, no way. This person is bad. Or the opposite, like, oh man, they're going to be it. They're going to be the person who saves the day. Right. And it's a good series. I would suggest you go back to season 1 if you haven't started it.
And watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's we highly recommend it. It's excellent. And I will tell you, if you are a reader and you read the Foundation trilogy, the first season will upset you because it diverges almost immediately from the book, and you will be upset and disappointed. Stick with it. It gets better. You understand that they're doing what they have to do to tell the story that they need to tell. And I think they're sticking to the spirit of the novels that Asimov wrote and the ideas that he wrote, even if they departed from the story for the sake of creating a drama that you could put on in a visual format. So I think they did a really good job with it. I'm looking forward to season 4, and we'll see where it goes. But I was really happy with season 3. Season 1, like I said, I started out. I had trouble getting through season 1. Season 2 was better. Season 3 was really, really good. So stick with it. It gets better, and I think you'll enjoy it if you give it the time that it deserves to really start to be really, really good.
Yeah, I agree. So we're going to move on to, you mentioned books, and we are going to one of Jacksonville's largest book festival, the Literary Indulgence Festival. Jerry will be setting up his table and selling his books, and along with 40 other authors. Yes. It's going to be, I'm really excited. It's next Saturday, July 18th from 10 to 4.
Right, 10 to 4 at the Kent campus of FSCJ.
Which is right off Roosevelt Boulevard.
Right off Roosevelt Boulevard in Jacksonville. It's my understanding is it's free to the public. There's no charge.
Absolutely free, which is you can't
beat that.
No,
because they're going to have lots of stuff going on. I think Jeannie has.
I do. I have the whole rundown here. So they're going to start the morning with, of course, a kickoff, which and then there are panel discussions, and some of the panels are so their overarching theme is education and literature. And the first panel is the new faces of education, where learning and literature converge. And I kind of want to peek in on that, but
Yep.
I'll be out at the table. Then we go into an adaptation and the future of storytelling. And then they have building your author platform, social media strategies that work. And I really wish that we could go to that, because that is a struggle.
It is a struggle.
What gets people to click on your website, to click on your book? I feel for you, authors. The next one is becoming an authorpreneur. Yeah, designing the career you dream of, which again, now, some of the workshops do cost. They're $20 per class. They do have an all access and raffle ticket for $50. The keynote presenter is Nikisha Elise Williams. She wrote the book, The Seven Daughters of Dupree, and check that out. But then there is a youth pavilion program where they'll have super story workshops there for people to get involved in, and then a lot of giveaways and activities. There's an art gallery annex room. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I had not heard about that.
Car just zoomed by our house, going way too fast. The Amelia Island Writers Panel is going to be in there.
Oh, cool.
They're going to have a Southern Sip and Speak.
I didn't know about that.
Yep. Where they're going to have complimentary sweet tea, lemonade, and light refreshments.
Yep.
And then outside, where all the authors will be, they're in the courtyard stage, they're going to have raffles throughout the day. They're going to have poetry and essay readings. They're giving away some really nice gift baskets.
Right.
I'm kind of sad that we're participants and not.
Well, what I assumed that we would do is I'll man the booth, and you can slip out and go to some of these events and represent us there. So
I know, but you know what happens when I come back with books and
we'll be fine. Hopefully,
and goodies.
Hopefully we'll sell a few books. But the real point is to support the festival. This is the third annual Literary Indulgence Festival. I was not involved in the first two. I wasn't even aware of the first two, though.
You weren't even an author yet.
I wasn't an author yet. I wasn't even aware of it. But they're a tremendous organization. They are very supportive of local authors. I know that seems like a no-brainer for someone running a festival, but you'd be surprised. Authors generally don't get the kind of attention and help that this group is doing. And not really taking any credit for it. They think this is what they should be doing. I agree, but it's just not common. You see a lot of events that are not as well run, not as well publicized, and they are everywhere out there daily, several times a day with posts. And so
posts on the local news stations,
local media, and I'm sure stuff I haven't even seen. But so I'm really excited to be part of it. I'm really honored to be part of it. So hopefully we'll sell a few books, meet some people, but just the experience itself. So I would encourage you, if you are a reader or a writer in the city, or if you have children who are, you're trying to get into reading.
They're giving away a lot of books for kids.
They're giving away a lot of books. There'll be lots of activities and fun. There's food trucks.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things going on. Come out between 10 and 4. and join us and all the folks that'll be there, and have a good time and celebrate reading. That's a it is a I know we talk about it a lot on this podcast. There is a crisis in the world, really, but in the U.S. in particular, with reading for pleasure being enjoyed by less than 40% of the population these days. And that is a tragedy. As someone who grew up reading because my mom encouraged it and went out of her way to make sure we had reading materials, I can't imagine not being a reader. I can't imagine missing out on the experiences that I would have missed out on, the knowledge that I wouldn't have if my mom had not encouraged that. And trust me, Jeannie has to listen uh, daily to the shortcomings of my childhood at times and has some of the challenges, but that was not one of them.
Yeah.
My mom was a voracious reader and a huge supporter.
She
of
always
reading
had a book
everything.
with her.
She always had a book. She always supported us when we were. I love to tell the story. Growing up, when I was, a kid, we'd go to the store. I'd bring a toy to my mom. She'd say, no, no, don't have the money. We're not buying it. If I brought a book, I don't remember her ever saying no. If we bought a book that brought a book to her that we wanted to read, she almost always bought it. And that's how I got into some of the stories that I got into in my youth, because I found them, at just convenience store or I don't know it was at the
Piggly
time.
Wiggly.
It was probably more like Kmart or something like that at the time, or Pick and Save. But they had those little carousels with books
Yeah.
in it, and I would find a book and I would say, "Oh, I want to read this," and she would buy it, and I almost never said no to that. And so I grew up really reading all sorts of things. Mom was a huge romance reader, but she also read other things, and she encouraged us to read everything. So, really, really encourage you, if you have kids, bring them to the festival. They'll have fun. Maybe they'll get more into reading. It's really about finding something that ignites their imagination and makes them want to read.
Yeah.
And all reading is educational. I don't
Yes.
care if it's the most tropiest dime store novel you ever saw. Something in that story is new to you. It's the
Right.
experience you haven't had that the author has had, and you will learn from it, whether it's a new word or a new experience or some sport that you've never engaged in or whatever it is. Almost everything you read will teach you something.
Yeah.
And so I think it's an excellent thing. So bring your kids out, come greet us. If you don't have a copy of the Failsafe program or Cybernetic Resonance, you can get a copy there. We'll autograph it for you.
Or Holiday Hustle.
Or Holiday Hustle, we have copies of that too. And we'll talk about you can talk with us about the new book coming out, Eclosion Point. And we hopefully at that time we'll have links, and we'll have stuff on our website to get to the audiobook version of the Failsafe program, which should come out hopefully by the end of next week. It's in its final
We
review
weren't
stage.
supposed to talk about that this
No, that's
episode.
Right. Just forget I said that. Strike that from the record.
He did not mention the audiobook. There is no audiobook.
This is not the audiobook you
Move along. These are not the audiobooks
I think we pretty much covered it. I mean, I think that's it. We come out and have a good time.
Yeah.
We've really been looking forward to this for months.
So I've been wanting to say this while you were standing on your soapbox there. I'm really trying to be more aware of mental health and stuff like that. And so I follow a couple of things on Instagram. And one of the things is that scrolling versus reading gives you the dopamine hit that you're looking for.
Yep.
Scrolling doesn't.
Yep.
So I'm trying to put my phone down more and pick up my book more. And
that is not an advertisement for physical books versus electronic books. Any book or long form literary format is what we're talking about, versus just scrolling through, you're seeing images and pictures. I'm not knocking that. We all do it. It's fine. But don't, if you have that much time, if you have an hour on your hands that you could be scrolling, you've read like 20% of a book.
Yes.
And so, and people ask, how do readers read so much? These readers should read 100 books.
They put their phones down.
They put their phones down. they dedicate time to reading. So instead of being on the phone or watching TV, they're reading a book. And
Right.
so your average book runs anywhere from 6 to 10 to 12 hours, depending on the length of the book. Some are a little bit longer, but that's just a time commitment. If you put time aside every day for reading, you'll get through books. And it's not about how fast you read. It's not about even about what you retain.
No.
It's really about the enjoyment that you get from it, and that you learn something, and that you expand your experiences. So come out.
Exercise your brain, read a book.
Yep. Come out and see us at the Literary Indulgence Book Festival, Saturday the 18th,
10 to 4.
10 to 4. We'll be there. Hopefully you'll be there too.
We'd love to see you.
Yep. So that's our 3 topics. Did you have
Nope.
anything else? Any final notes?
No, I think that's it. Please come out and see us next Saturday.
Okay.
And
all right, now we have to go because we have to go to Lowe's and pick out tile for the bathroom.
for our sagging floor in the bathroom.
The
But yeah,
floor in
we
our
do.
bathroom. But so this is a new format. It's a little more compact than we were doing before. Give us your feedback. Let us know. Drop us a line. Let us know how you feel. Let us know if there are changes that you would make to it. And we hope to see you at Kent Campus on the 18th. And we hope to see you back here next week.
Bye.